Hello there. Welcome to Friday Brew Review. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Tom.
And today, we're going to be talking about a great old brew.
That brew is right here, and it's called
Ninkasi's Brewing Company
presents Vanilla Oatis.
Not only is it vanilla, it's also an oatmeal stout.
A deliciously smooth oatmeal stout.
Alright.
Alright, roll the jingle.
Friday Brew Review.
Alright, here we are.
And we got ourselves two very special brews.
Deliciously special. Shall we uncap these?
I think so.
It's time.
Do you have a Ninkasi cap?
Yes.
Well, I don't, but I'm not going to keep them in a box. So, we're all good. Alright. See, it's funny. I can actually see the little, what do you call it? What do you call the stuff that comes out of the bottle?
Vapor?
Yeah. I could see it, like, traveling right up his nose. It was like a Dymatab commercial or something, you know what I mean?
Dymatab.
Remember those old commercials? Or some kind of, like, a nasal spray?
Friday Brew Review, where we frequently refer to medicine commercials.
Yeah, apparently.
Okay,
all right,
what's your smell impression?
Well, I'm not going to tell you my smell impression out of the bottle. I'll wait until I get to the glass. Well, what do you think? What's your bottle smell?
Ooh.
Just the right nostril. Now the left.
I have a deviated septum, okay?
Okay.
I don't have ambinostril smelling capabilities.
No, I think that's a problem with your right and left brain. Okay. Let's just... I'm going to pour today, and you know what? I'm not going to get a huge head. Oh, man.
It's not a very heady ale, is it?
Not very. We got a stout here.
It's a stout.
You guys are going to be impressed with me. Holy Miss Shanky, look at that. No head at all.
None at all.
Well, Tom, I think it's time for my regular smell impression.
Out of the glass.
And again, I think this smell impression definitely more balanced. You get more stuff going on when you go right out of the glass.
So what are you getting? Strong stout?
Yeah, it's definitely a strong stout.
I believe this is 7%.
Yeah, and
It's pretty 7.2. Pretty strong for a stout.
yeah, I'm getting the vanilla, but it's almost, you know, I don't think it's gonna be super powerful.
I don't think this is going to be as creamy as I originally thought it was going to be.
Yeah, you know, I really just want to take a sip.
I
You know
concur. Good sip.
That was a
And
good sip.
good brew.
Indeed.
This is amazing.
All right, Tom. So, what's your first sip impression?
It's sweet but complex.
It is. You know what it tastes like to me? Postum. Have you ever had Postum?
Who hasn't?
Yeah, well, anyone who doesn't know, Postum is this, like, caffeine-free coffee substitute. And it's made with, like, wheat bran and molasses. And it's really popular among old people, especially my grandma. Just loves Postum, and it was discontinued recently, which was an upset to the entire household. But it definitely.
But I get what you're
tastes
saying,
like
because Postum has a really kind of a sweet, molassesy type flavor.
that. And yeah, and the molasses is really clearly there.
The vanilla is bringing it right out.
Yeah, it definitely tastes the vanilla too, and it's not like simulated vanilla. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you have like vanilla ice cream that's
This
like cheap,
is proper vanilla.
and it just tastes like, you know, vanilla flavoring. But this, it actually tastes like proper vanilla.
They grind up vanilla stalks and put it in the mulch.
The mulch.
I don't know.
All right. So, okay. So this is a brewery out of
Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Oregon.
Ninkasi.
Big brew town, apparently.
It's a big brew town.
Yeah. And two guys were, started this brewery. Nikos and what was
Jamie.
the other guy? Jamie. Yeah. and they had this philosophy, and this is what beer meant to them, and I quote, it was a source of community and the root of all existence.
And apparently it's the root of all written language.
Yeah. I don't know about root of all existence, but it was apparently, according to scholars, the first written language was used to record...
Keep record of ale distribution?
Yeah, like the grains that they used to make the beer.
Used by ancient Egyptians to pay the pyramid builders.
Yeah, so... I don't know how far you'd go with that, but... I don't know. You can take it as far as you want, I guess. And at least, they're passionate. And I think they got some good beer. This is definitely pretty good.
They got some mighty fine beer.
Yeah.
Gotta say, this is one of the most interesting stouts I've had.
It definitely has a lot of character. It has a lot of body. A lot of stouts are really, really smooth, but they go down so smooth that you're almost like, what am I drinking? Do you know what I mean? Like, they don't have a lot of character, and this is definitely more complex. A bit harder to describe too. Like, what would you say, as far as,
Yeah, when I first saw oatmeal vanilla stout, I thought this is gonna be massively smooth, but
it's not. It's quite sour.
It's got a sour tone to it.
It's got definitely in that aftertaste, It has that sour aftertaste as well.
It's like they came up with a stout, thought this is pretty sour, let's throw some vanilla in there.
Yeah.
And I think it balances it out quite nice.
It isn't, you're right, it isn't too much of anything, but it is definitely complicated. It is, and the sourness really...
I'm liking the burn of the aftertaste that's sitting there.
And it's funny, I only kind of feel it on the left side of my throat. Maybe that's just me. I know you actually pointed to the right side of yours. I was going to say, it's the same side, but it's not. It's the opposite. But I'm definitely feeling it right here,
I'm feeling it on both sides.
Alright. So, it's an oatmeal stout. So we got the roasted malt, and obviously molasses, because we got that postum flavor going on.
You got your postum flavor, you got your molasses flavor, you got your oatmeal stout.
Yeah. And the vanilla, but also, sour. So.
I don't know if the vanilla is making it sour. Do you think?
I don't think it is. Vanilla generally is a sweetener. Though, if you have, like if you go and you're baking cookies, because, you want to impress the neighbor next door or something. And if you smell vanilla extract... It's quite pungent.
It's got a tang.
It does.
Pungent kind of an odor.
Pungent tang.
I think it's giving this beer a little bit of a pungent tang.
Which is unexpected. You'd think the vanilla would just be purely sweet.
I thought it was going to morph into a blob of foam as soon as I sipped it.
I was looking forward to this, ice cream beer.
Like an ice cream cone. You could pour it into a cone and the head would just become the cone.
Yeah, and you'd just be like... Because that's how I eat ice cream, just right over the top like that. Alright, food pairings. What would you pair this with? And this is interesting.
What to pair with the vanilla Oatis?
Because I have no idea. I have no idea what I would pair this with. Honestly, this
Not
is...
chicken.
It's one of those beers where I don't think I'd eat it with a burger on a patio. Even though you could say that about most beers, I don't think I'd want to.
So you were sitting on the patio and someone said, "Oh, would you like a vanilla Oatis?" You say, "Get that away from me.
Get out of my sight." No, I would probably want an IPA or something, but this is still good, It's definitely good, but honestly, I don't think I'd pair it with food. I think I would just drink it by itself.
This is what you drink when you are stuck inside because there's a blizzard and you got to keep warm because your power's out and you don't know if you're going to make it through the night.
Yeah.
And you're huddled up against the radiator just hoping it will come back on, and all you have to cradle you against yourself is an
ice cold beer.
Ice cold?
Yeah.
Vanilla Oatis.
Yeah. No, you really should drink the stouts at room temperature.
Yeah.
Mine was a bit cold because we got it from that liquor store that was refrigerated. And I'm like, what are those stouts doing in the fridge, man?
Get these stouts out of the fridge,
Get them out of the fridge! Yeah. So I don't know. Midway impression. Any change?
Let me give him a midway sip.
Let's do a midway swig. You're welcome for not doing another close-up. I know that probably wasn't the greatest thing in this. See,
All 2 of our viewers stopped watching at that point.
yeah. If you're here, you're family. All right. Just like the Olive Garden. Is that the Olive Garden? Anyways, all right. You know what? Midway impression. That's what we were. What were we doing? What are you
talking
think?
about the strong character that's
Yeah. How's that aftertaste treating you?
the
As far as the
aftertaste.
midway hits.
It's a comfortable aftertaste.
Mm.
It's building, but
It is building.
pleasantly.
I'd agree with that. Yeah, I would agree with that. It's definitely building. It's definitely more potent, even more sour, and even more sharp. But it's not so bad that it's ruining it. It's not overpowering anything, and it suits the beer.
It's got stout. It's got sharpness.
Stout sharpness.
Stout sharpness, but the overall kind of laid back character of a stout is just keeping me toasty and comfortable
Yeah.
in terms of aftertaste, if that makes any sense.
Not necessarily toasty warm, but a toasty aftertaste. And you can quote him on that. All right, big swig?
Big swig.
Big swig it is. All right. Are you
From
ready?
mid swig to big swig, we're going in for the kill.
Oh,
we
that's
are
how
gonna
we do
swig
it.
this
So big.
so big. Boom! Boom!
What does that do?
Well,
Oh, okay.
so we describe our big swigs.
My big swig had a temporary delay. I didn't feel the effects of my big swig until a few seconds after I swallowed. And then it was like all the air all of a sudden rushed up. And I was like, whoa, that was too much. You know what I mean? Like, I almost feel like I chugged something. How do you feel as far as air-wise goes? Like, did you get a lot of air out of that?
I got some air.
Yeah.
You're always gonna get air with a big swig.
Oh, yeah. Well,
It's an inevitable scientific
effect.
effect.
Yeah.
Cause and effect. Swig, air.
Yeah.
But for a stout, not too much.
Really?
It didn't turn into a big ball of foam like I was saying earlier. It went down and said, "Yeah, you're swigging me.
Yeah.
Good job. Respect."
Yeah.
And it went down, gave me a bit of air, but not too much.
Yeah.
And then just let me sit back. It sat back with me and said, "Okay, here's the aftertaste."
Yeah.
Had a bit of vanilla.
So it did have that delay. The delay was there for your
There's
two.
always
for
a
your
delay.
two.
Yeah, there's always a delay. You get the delay.
Yeah.
You sit back
Yeah.
and you think about what has just transpired.
What has just happened?
Yes. And then it goes,
And you say to yourself, what did that do?
and then it tells you with a nice little wafting aftertaste that floats up.
And then the beer said, I gave you carbonation, and I gave you bitter, and I gave you a delicious time.
And a nice roasty aftertaste that will waft up and linger on your palate.
You're welcome.
And then they invented written language to keep track of the payments rendered